It's time for 4 picks, 1 word. I think you know how to do it. I give you 4 pictures. You try and work out what the word is that I want you to guess. And then you guess it and I tell you what it is. As easy as that. Welcome back, Prep 1s and 2s, to talking about different types of materials, what things are made of, and also the properties of those materials, which we'll talk about today. So I have in my hand some different little signs just to remind you of some of the different types. So I'll read through them and then we're going to play a bit of a game with describing them. So rubber, first one. Now last week we looked at a rubber glove, didn't we? Cardboard. Fabric, that's what our clothes are made out of, and bags and things. Plastic, we use lots of plastic in our lives, don't we? Sometimes good, sometimes bad. Paper, paper is one of my favourite things that we use at school for all our drawing and writing. Ceramics, so this was to do with our cups and plates and things like that in the kitchen. Metal. Glass. You might have glasses in your kitchen. I'm thinking all your windows will be made of glass. Maybe you could think about why that might be. Wool. Wood. And aluminium, which is actually a type of metal, so I don't know why that's a separate card. Okay, so there's some of the materials that we looked at last week. Now today, I have 2 questions for you, and they're actually already printed on here. The first one says, what does it feel like? So when you look at a different material, you need to think to yourself, what does it feel like? And you can also ask yourself this question, what does it look like? And when you want to answer these questions, you're going to need a bunch of words to help describe things a little bit better. So if I say to you, what is rubber like? Then you might think, well, it's soft in my hand. It's not hard like stone or brick. It's flexible, which means you can bend it and it stretches. It's stretchy, elastic. So we need those kind of words, don't we, to help us describe things. And so we're going to play a bit of a game today. It's an opposites game. And I'm going to show you a word and you're going to try and say what the opposite is. For our opposites game, I have a whole bunch of little flashcards here. And what will happen is I will hold up one and you have to shout out to the screen what you think the opposite of that word is. So I've started with a pretty easy one. The word is big. Now you might know that the opposite is kind of like the other way around. So if it's not big, then it's small. Is that what you guessed? All right, so the answer is small. Now, we're going to get some tricky ones through here. Some words you never will have heard of before, so I'm going to have to teach them to you, and some words you will know. So, next one. Some things are weak. What's the opposite of weak? Now, if you said strong, you were exactly right. Well done. All right, next one. Some materials are hard. And when you knock on them, they sound like that. Do you know what the opposite of hard is? If you said soft, then you were exactly right. Well done. Okay, next one. Oh, some things are smooth. Now you probably know what that feels like. You run your hand over it, it's all shiny and there's no bumps or anything. What is the opposite of smooth?
I know, it's rough.
Now I'm going to have to edit. That was Danny. That was my husband. He just called out the answer and gave it away. Did you know that the answer was rough? It's rough. Okay, this is the problem with trying to film at your house when people are walking around the place. Okay, so the opposite of smooth is rough. And when you touch it, it's sort of bumpy under your hands. Next one. Shiny. I love shiny things. They kind of catch your eye because the sun shines off them, doesn't it? So what's the opposite of shiny? This is a word that lots of kids probably don't know. You might not know it. It's like when you see something like a brown paper bag, or even my clothes. They're not really shiny, are they? The opposite of shiny is dull. It's an interesting word, isn't it? I sometimes think about this like a whiteboard and a blackboard. Have you ever seen those blackboards that people draw on with chalk? And those are dull, but the whiteboard is all shiny. All right, waterproof. These are important things, waterproof materials, because you need them to make things for outside so they don't get water in them. And also for clothes, when it's a rainy day, you need waterproof things. Now, the opposite of waterproof is a word that I don't think any of you will know. Maybe the grade 1s and 2s, maybe, but not the preps, I don't think. It means the opposite of this, where water soaks in. Instead of the water sort of rolling off like waterproof things, it soaks the water in. We use it for towels when we want to dry ourselves because we want to get the water away from us. And we use it when we're cleaning up, like paper towel. The word is absorbent. I had to write this one myself because it wasn't in the cards. Absorbent. Now, we're going to be talking about this in one of the coming weeks. You're going to be doing an experiment about which materials are absorbent and which ones are waterproof. But for today, just have a think about that word. See if you can say it after me. Absorbent. All right. And here's another big word. So these are all the big words at the end, aren't they? Transparent. Can you say transparent? Now, transparent means you can see through something. So this is really good. If you've got a window and you want to see through it, it needs to be transparent. If you just had a wall there, you wouldn't be able to see anything. But sometimes, like when I go to the toilet, I don't want a window for everyone to see me going to the toilet. You probably don't either. And so we need something that is not transparent, the opposite of that. And that is called opaque. So transparent and opaque, they're big words. You don't have to remember them, but if you learn them and use them, you sound like a super clever scientist. All right, then I just have a few other words that you can use to describe things. They're not opposites. We've got pointy things, bumpy things, bendy things. Actually, in science, we say flexible, if you can bend it. Flexible is the right word for that. Stretchy or elastic. Crinkly or bright. So that's describing kind of its appearance, isn't it? All right. Well, that's lots and lots of words that you can use today. Now I'm going to show you the activity that I would like you to do, if you can. So on Google Classroom this week, or maybe on the website, you're going to find a sheet. Now the sheet will be in the section that says try this out or make this. And when you click on it, it should have a sheet that has a box and then some words in that box. Now the words match up with some of the words we were just talking about before. And what I did was I went around my house and I found different materials in my house that matched those words, and then I stuck them on the sheet. So for instance, I found a shiny thing, which is like some wrapping paper that I had, and the opposite of that was some brown paper, dull paper. So I put that there. Then I needed something that was absorbent, that soaks in water. So I went and got some paper towel from the kitchen and I stuck that on there. But you could cut up a washer or a sponge or anything that soaks up water. And the opposite of that is waterproof. So I put some plastic there that was waterproof. I stuck it there. Then I had the words rough and smooth. So I got some of that paper. Can you hear this? That sounding paper. It's called corrugated card. And I got some of that and put it there for rough. And then something smooth. But you might have some sandpaper at your house or something like that that you can stick there. And the last two words are hard and soft. So I found a little piece of wood. You could use the top of a milk bottle top or something like that. And then you need something soft, and I used felt, but you could do anything that's soft down there. So I would love for you to do this sheet this week, if you've got the chance, it gives you something fun to do at home, to go around looking for things, and you can stick them on using some PVA glue or a glue stick or something. And if you're an older kid, like grade 1 and 2, this is going to be something you can do pretty quickly. So what I would love for you to do as an extension is to, on the other side, maybe make some more opposites. So if some of the other opposite words that we talked about, like transparent and opaque, maybe something that's flexible or stretchy or elastic, you might be able to come up with some other ones and put them on the back too. Now, if you do this activity, make sure you send it to me in an email or stick it on Google Classroom so that I can see. And I look forward to hearing from you. All right, I'll see you next time. Bye. Welcome back to Race the Reveal. It's time for another animal. You know the deal. Little pictures come up, you guess what the animal is, and then at the end, I'll tell you what it was.